AAHANA KUMRA. I am Livaeco GlobalSpa Fit Fab, and my fitness mantra is to work out every day, to eat whatever your heart desires, and to stay happy and keep your family and friends very close to you.
Hi, I'm Shivani, and I'm Livaeco's GlobalSpa Fit Fab, and my fitness mantra is to be physically, mentally strong, to be happy all the time, and always exuberate positive energy all around me.
Hello everyone, very warm welcome to the lovely Kumra sisters. Both of them are totally fit and fabulous, and we're so happy to have them as our Fit and Fab sister duo at the Fit and Fab Awards. Ahana was always inclined towards films since a very young age, and she joined Prithvi Theatres, and we know that she also has now such a big plethora of work to her credit, and some of the important ones being The Blueberry Hunt, The Accidental Prime Minister, Lipstick Under My Burkha, and lots more on her plate, which we're all really looking forward to. Shivani is an athlete, fitness and health function bodybuilding, a marathon achiever, and she is she loves her fitness, and her Instagram is always full of beautiful fitness pictures and videos, etc. So tell us, both of you, what are your fitness mantras? Both of you, do you work out together at all, ever? What are your fitness mantras?
So we try to do that sometimes, not all the time, because we have very different schedules, very different lives also in terms of work. While Ahana is an actor, everybody knows, I'm in full-time corporate job as well. So it's hard to find the time to work out together. But whenever we're together, we do try to make it a point to work out together because it kind of inspires us and motivates us to work together.
What about diet secrets? Do you both have some kind of a diet regime that you follow? Anna, you go with that.
Anna, you want to say that?
I don't think I follow any diet. So Shivani is laughing because, yeah, of course, I'm careful about what I eat now. Over the last few years, I've become a little more careful about my food. But the good thing is, because both of us train very hard, we tend to indulge into home-cooked meals, and we eat normal ghar ki roti, dal, chawal, sabzi, everything which is normally, that we've been eating since we were kids. We don't try to, we don't stick to anything which is like, today I'll do keto, and today I'll go on oats, and today I will have barley. And we don't do those things, because I think the one thing that Shivani also kind of told me very early on was that when I started training seriously, is what I'll say, is that, that eat what you have always eaten, and don't go on fads, and don't go on these new things and these new diets and these new superfoods, because none of this helps in the long term, and this doesn't sustain. So it's best that you work out, and you work out well. Even if you give about 25 minutes in a day, you do give that much time, that much training to your body, and then eat what you have to, and don't overeat, and don't overindulge, and don't go crazy with everything fattening and all. Just eat a normal home cooked meal. And I think that is the only way of long-term sustenance. So that's something that I think I learned very early on, and it's all because of her. Otherwise, I would have been following all the fads that the entire world follows.
So Shivani, what motivated you to get into fitness in such a big way? Tell us about your journey.
Sure. I've been working out for many, many years. I mean, to be honest, it's been a decade plus. It started in school. In fact, I'm actually from a boarding school back in Dehradun, and we had a very, a strict routine where fitness was part of our lifestyle, which is actually physical training, PT, which is, most of us know that in school. And so it's been always inculcated or inherited as as part of my DNA. However, this is something I took up more seriously after I had my baby, which was 5 years back, because my son's 5 now, and I put on a lot of weight, and it's pretty normal because you got pregnant, and to be healthy, happy, you need to put on certain amount of weight, which was required from my doctor, to have my baby. And Yes, once I had my baby, I was feeding him, I had put on a lot of weight, and every time I would look at myself in the mirror, of course, a lot of us go through postpartum depression. And that's when it got me thinking that, how do I wanted to look like my old self again. And I think I used to do a lot of reading, a lot of self-contemplation, because that's the time when you spend a lot of time by yourself. Have a baby when you're all the time with the baby, feeding baby, taking care of the baby during a mat leave. And I think I started designing a routine, a lifestyle, which I said, you know what, I'm not going to look like this in the next 1 year. And I gave myself an objective, a goal, and I put in a lot of hard work with a very systematic way of my food, as well as which is my diet, as well as my workout routine. And it all worked well. And I I lost my weight. I was back in shape, but that was not it. So it didn't stop there. I just went on and on and on. And I think I'd never look back and try to be every year doing something new and different.
That's amazing. So you are the motivation for AAHANA, right?
Yes, to a large extent. I will not deny it. I'm super proud of it. Because
right. So did you never want to become an actress like AAHANA?
No, it's not my cup of tea.
All right. So, AAHANA, what does wellness mean to you?
I think it's pretty simple. I think you need to just be able to be at a peace of mind. I think that is wellness for me. It really sums up to that. You could be very healthy, and I think I can speak very safely in today's times, because although I know a lot of people who are very healthy and who are very fit, and they're still losing their lives, and we've been seeing that in the past couple of, months, when I wake up every morning and I'm just like, okay, like what now? How? And it's just, it's so difficult to kind of wrap my head around it. And I realize that, people may appear healthy, they may be very fit, and they may appear like they are doing everything right, they are eating everything right, they are putting their best step forward, but maybe they're just not well from within. And that is a reason why I know a lot of youngsters who are losing their lives and everything. So I feel that wellness is it's not about flexing your muscle and getting your supplements in place and your dietary requirements in place. I think it's about an overall being. And it also means, like, do you surround yourself with the right people? Do you do you sleep well? Do you wake up feeling happy, and do you have gratitude for your life and for everything that's happened around you? And I think that's a very important part of being a part of wellness. And I feel like now that has happened to me. I think over the last few months that has started happening to me a lot more. So I feel very full of gratitude now. I'm like, thank God, every morning I wake up and I go like, oh my God, I'm alive. Thank you.
That sounds a bit depressing, but yes, you're right. It has become such an important aspect because, we've seen so many crazy things happening around us. And yes, I agree. Being thin definitely doesn't mean that you're fit. That's one thing we really want to put across to everybody. A size 0 is not a fit thing to be. That's not what really you want to be. So what is your idea of wellness, Shivani? Because you're in this field literally.
So for me, it's about, of course, one is what AAHANA talked about is, mental well-being, but also for me, physically strong also is very important. For me, although I lost weight, I'm not skinny, and skinny was never my objective, not my goal. And I always wanted to look and feel strong. I want to be able to do everything by myself. There's not a single physical aspect in my house that I cannot do on my own. Whether it's picking up, even 5 kg of your grocery or 10 kg of atta, I want to be able to carry that by myself. I don't need somebody to porter it for me. And that's what I think is wellness for me, to be able to do things by yourself. You can, I think, in fact, for me, it's more futuristic. Of course, the way AAHANA described it, it's a little more different because, she's come across people she knows closely, or she knows when life is uncertain. Fortunately for me, that's not been the case, but I want to be able, so I'm surrounded by a lot of women around me always, even at work, even, because I'm a mom. So, you take your kids for activities, and you come across mothers. And I always tell myself that tomorrow when I'm old, like, 50, 60, 70 years old, I want to be able to do things by myself. I don't need help. I don't need somebody or my son to be able to do things for me. I can drive by myself. So this is what wellness is for me.
That's true. That's absolutely the perfect definition of wellness, really. So now let's come to something interesting. Tell us, you both are travel junkies from what I hear.
Yes.
Yes. Do you both travel together or solo girl trips? What do you think about that?
We've done one solo girl trip. We went to Paris and Amsterdam together. And Shivani was at work and on a work trip, and I was just doing a solo trip, and I kind of hopped on with her. But I've done a lot more solo trips, and she's done for her work, but I've done solo trips for leisure. But yeah, we have, like, I think in the pandemic, we've managed to travel a lot to, like, places which are in and around Maharashtra. And we've done like a lot of trips together with, the two of us, with my nephew and my brother-in-law. So we've done a lot of these kind of trips together, which has been a nice time to be able to spend with your family. I think the pandemic kind of gave us that kind of an opportunity. But we did travel to Paris many, many years ago, and it was quite wonderful.
How nice. So what's on your wish list now?
So I haven't been to Italy. I'd like to go to Italy. I've never been there.
I've done that, but it's
beautiful. It's really nice. Yeah.
Shivani, what's your wish list?
To me, it would be Japan. I'm really looking forward.
I've been to Japan twice. I've been to Japan twice, and Shivani's heard so much about it.
Coming from the fragrance industry, that's where I belong to. You know about the Japanese cherry blossom. I really want to go and see them bloom. I think
actually, even
it's the most beautiful.
We should do cherry blossom.
Yeah, we should definitely try
next year. We're like sitting and make a plan right now.
Now you're off to Japan again, huh?
Third time. But you know what? It's my favorite country in the world. I traveled for the first time solo. I was traveling for lipstick to Japan, and I remember that was my premiere. Our first premiere was at the Tokyo International Film Festival, and because of that film festival, I kind of built my itinerary in such a way that I traveled to. I went to Osaka. I went to Kyoto, Nara, Hiroshima, Tokyo, everywhere. Like I went everywhere, and I went there all alone without knowing the language, and like literally staying in ryokans, staying in hostels, staying in an Airbnb. So I stayed like in every place possible that I could, and got like all my train tickets, all my railway passes.
So what has been your biggest accomplishment so far? What do you feel is your biggest accomplishment
in life?
Yes.
My God, I don't think I can name one. There are quite a lot. I feel a lot. In fact, I think when I got my first Dada Saab Phalke and my parents are there, quite a lot. I think for me, my greatest accomplishment was my first show that I bagged opposite Mr. Bachchan. And I think I got it basis my merit, because I know the industry is very difficult and different for different people. But I think I got my first opportunity because of my work, and because somebody saw me on stage, they kind of put me onto a show. So I think it was very, very important for me that my first press. I remember like my first press conference also, when I was sitting with Bachchan Sahab and Sarika ma'am, and there was NP Singh, so he was sitting there. There was Anurag, there was Shujit sir, everybody. Like there was a big plethora of filmmakers, and these two really like legends sitting next to me, and I'm like this 22-year-old, absolutely no idea what a press conference is supposed to, because back in the day it wasn't like how kids are these days. Like people are very groomed now. That time we had no idea.
these days. You're not much far away from that here.
No, but you know, back in the day, because I wore like literally a salwar kameez from my cupboard. So we're from Lucknow, and I had a chicken ka salwar kameez. I wore a chicken ka salwar kameez, and Ratna Pathak Shah had bought me a dupatta from Kolkata. I literally put that on and went for the press conference. Like literally, that was it. Nobody did my hair makeup. Some makeup dada came and did my hair makeup quickly for the press conference. And I still remember the first question that Bachchan Sahab was asked. He gave the mic in my hand, and I was like, "Why are you giving it to me?" He's like, "Ask AAHANA." And I was like, "What?" You know, he was just pulling my leg. But I'm just saying, for me, it was a huge thing to sit on the stage with such a legendary actor. And till present date, I think for me, he's one of the greatest people, or I call him superhuman, because I think he's one of the most fantastic human beings. My greatest achievement is that he knows me personally, and he knows me because of my work. And he really admires me as a co-actor. So I think
that is a big achievement. That is a big one. So Shivani, over to you. What is your biggest achievement?
So I don't have a background like AAHANA, of course, so I don't get awards. But for me, you know, being a working mother, being able to manage, work with my kind of job, I'm in sales, I'm in marketing. So for me, I'm always on the go, always traveling. My baby was around 6 months old when I started touring again, back to work, and being able to manage that work, not being dissed by my family for not being able to give attention to my kid. And at the same time, I'm managing my fitness, which is my passion, which is, personally, not my career, but something which I really, really thoroughly enjoy. And I think this is, people actually think that I'm a trainer a lot of times. To that extent, they believe that. I think these three things that I can balance, and that's my biggest achievement, nothing more.
Wow. And that's big as well. Big as well. That's a big one. So tell me, during the lockdown, what kept you motivated?
So I'll tell you what, it was very interesting actually during the lockdown. The beginning lockdown, AAHANA was stuck with at our house, So AAHANA was visiting us, and the lockdown was announced, and obviously there was no way that my parents wanted to take a chance of sending her on her own, back to our place, although we're just 1 hour away from each other, 1 hour drive away. And AAHANA was obviously at our place, and like everybody else, we were cooking, cleaning by ourselves. I had my kid at home, my work, my husband was working. AAHANA was practically helping us out with Arjun, my son. And I think I couldn't have asked for more better, it was a blessing.
Great family time. Great family time.
No, it was a boot camp.
So I said, you know what, this is not, and obviously a lot of us were home, things were like piling up. You can get depressed. I'm sure a lot of people went through that during the lockdown. I think that's the time when I said, you know what, we should channelize our energies. And I started, making sure that AAHANA worked out with me more often, because that is something which I anyways did. It was not a routine that I was going to stop by, shut it.
She's calling it a boot camp. That's why she's calling it.
Because Shivani used to wake me up at 6 a.m. with coffee in her hand, and she used to be like, "Get up, here, take your coffee. That's a banana. Quickly eat that." And then we used to, and I'm like half in my sleep, and I'm like groggy, and I'm like, oh my God, it's 6 a.m. For heaven's sake, I don't have any shoot or anything. Why are you waking me up so early? And she's like, get up, come on, wear your shoes. This is your t-shirt, track pants. Come on, put it on. Let's go. Let's work out. And then both of us would start working out, and I'm like dying. I'm like, oh God, I can't do this. It's too early in the morning.
I had her breakdowns also. She's like, I'm going home. I'm going to mom's. I'm going home. I'm like, just shut up and stay home. You better work out.
She literally put a routine in my life, which has never been a case. Like I never have had a routine, So waking up.
Are you continuing with that routine, or have you just let loose now once she's let you go?
AAHANA actually follows it to a large extent. So even on a day of shoots, she wakes up in the morning and goes for a run, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Works to the best, no? She actually, did something good for you.
it worked out, but I'm the lazy one. I'm like the Taurian in the house who's the laziest Taurian, who's like wanting to have things as per like, हाँ हो जाएगा, I'll do it, don't worry, yeah, just leave it to me, but I'll do it whenever I want to do it. This one would not listen. She's like, I don't care, get up, quickly work out, and then by 8 o'clock, like we were done with our workout, like with shower.
Wow.
By 8:30, we're done with like breakfast. 9 o'clock, she's sitting on her laptop with my brother-in-law sitting on his laptop, and me and my nephew are stuck in his class, So it was just nice. I think it was nice because we used to sleep also early, because with a baby like these guys sleep early. They sleep by like 9:30, 10. So I used to be in bed by like 10 o'clock, 10:30 max. So I was like, wow, I've never slept. But now I'm sleeping, like now I sleep early. I sleep at like 10, 10:30. I'm like, okay, I don't want to party and I don't want to see the world after 10:30. So I'm good.
That's great. That's good. That's good. So what is your best way to unwind? How do you unwind after a long shoot day?
I think after a long shoot day, I'm only wanting to sleep. But that's quite easy. But apart from that, like I come back and I usually watch something nice, because during the whole lockdown period, I think I was watching such interesting, content on OTT platforms, that now I come back and I go like, oh, now what's next? What's next? So there are so many seasons which I want to catch up on. So I usually like I love Succession, I love Morning Show, I love these shows. So I'll always come back and I'll just be like, okay, I have to watch the next episode. Okay, I have to come and watch the next episode. So I make sure that I come back and watch something which is something that I've always been watching.
Lockdown has done this to all of us. We've all become OTT, whatever you want to call it. So what are you binge watching right now?
I just finished binge watching the Morning Show, and I'm now watching Succession. I mean, I'm a huge fan of that show. So I'm just waiting for the next episode now.
So Shivani, how do you unwind? I mean, you have a busy work life, you have a kid. How do you unwind?
So because I work out also very rigorously, a lot of times on the weekends, I do these massages. That's one of the ways that I unwind. I also I also have like during the days like I take a break. I have my rollers. I do my own massages with my own rollers as well, stretches. So that's one of the ways I unwind. I'm not really into meditation so much, unfortunately, but there are forms of yoga that I do, like stretches. I read sometimes. I also watch some TV, which is the OTT series, of course. A lot of times that's the way I unwind as well. Or cooking. Cooking is another way.
Which is your favorite AAHANA show or movie?
Oh, that's a tough one. But Marzi, I think, is the most
Which one?
Marzi.
Okay,
It was on
Marzi.
It was in
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was one of the very, very. I liked it a lot because it was a lot about. So I like a lot of shows and movies where women are the protagonists, the main protagonists.
Right.
And they have like a little more. They show more very strongly, boldly, power play, and that's one of the key reasons I really like the show. Not that I'm saying that I don't like Call My Agent Bollywood as well, but Mercy is one of. I saw AAHANA in its the most amazing element, and this was during the lockdown that we saw her, and it was amazing to watch her on screen like that.
I also liked Marzi a lot. It was a good show.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah, that was a great show. So tell me, there's a lot of talk these days about sustainable fashion, and there are a lot of brands like Livaeco, we just spoke about, who are leading that change. What is your view on sustainability in fashion?
So my thoughts on that are, I mean, of course, you see the kind of wastage because, I mean, there are so many, I think like, thanks to all these videos that, that keep coming sometimes. And I keep seeing them and I just go like, my God, look at the amount of wastage that happens in the world and how the environment is now giving it back to us. If we are not going to stop damaging the environment is going to damage all of us. And what are we going to leave back for for the younger generation. We all have children at home, and everybody must think about, like, we must leave something back for the generation. And I very, very strongly believe in sustainability. I don't believe that fashion ke mare to matlab itni sari cheezein khareed lijiye ya, or buy things which are not going to be sustainable, because in the long run, then nothing's going to last. Neither we, nothing. And the earth really doesn't need us. We need the earth. So it cannot be a one-way street. This has to be a mutual respect and a mutual journey that both humans and, the environment needs to follow together. So either we make peace with it, or we'll be left with nothing.
Shivani, what's your view on sustainable fashion?
I believe in, Anna, I think, has elaborated on it, but I just say it in one line, which is less is more for me today. And I think it applies for a lot of people. In fact, that's the key reason. It is also very interesting, but Japan is a country that actually exuberates that culture of less is more. I've actually seen a lot of their culture actually, whether it's food or whether it is the way they live in terms of, their lifestyle. And I really think it's not about it's not about only fashion, but about everything.
Yeah,
everything that you do. And, it should be that affect your life.
So, yeah, in fact, this year, the theme of our awards is conscious, sustainable, and fabulous. So we're focusing a lot on sustainability this year with our awards. So I'm glad to hear that. So tell me, what is one piece of advice that you were given and you've never let go of? Shivani, let's start with you.
For me, it is positivity. I mean, I really believe in that term. For me, it's worked for me. It's my mantra. A go-to mantra, whenever I feel not good, not well, stressed, tired, even I feel I'm at the verge of falling sick, I just tell myself that, I'm going to be fine. And this is one mantra that I really believe in, and this really worked. Actually, I have a personal anecdote where this was around the month of April, where a lot of, and that's when COVID, there was it was basically a relapse. A lot of people falling sick. My husband and AAHANA also were one of the victims to it, who actually fell ill and contracted COVID. And we were all in the same house, in fact, when everybody got it, except me and my son. Two people. Okay. There were 4 of us in the house, and Anna was unfortunately just visiting us, and my husband had just fallen ill. He had high fever, and I was not 100% sure whether he had a viral, or because we were so careful during the entire time, because we have a child also at home and we have parents, old parents. We didn't want to take any chances, but unfortunately he contracted it, and so did AAHANA. And I was exposed the most to my sister as well as my husband. But you know what? I just told myself nothing can go wrong with me. I will be fine. I need to be all right because I have to take care of these 2 people around me. And I think that mantra worked for me. And I think I've never believed in it even more. So positivity thinking for me is the go-to word.
That's very amazing. What about you, Anna?
Well, in my industry, that the one thing that we get to hear the word is no all the time, like not fit or no. And I think rejection is one of the most important things that you learn, as part of your journey in this industry. And there are lots of times when somebody will meet you and they'll be like, oh, you know what, you're not good enough. Oh, you're not like good looking enough, or you're just not good enough. And I think I've heard so much of the word no that after a point, I could not hear that word only. When somebody says no, I go like, oh, okay, possible. So that's my mantra for life. Like, there's nothing called no. everything is possible, and you're living in a country where everything works on jugaad. So there's something you can definitely manage, and you can definitely do something with some sort of jugaad and make sure that thing works. So I think that has become like my mantra in life, that there is nothing called a word no. Everything is possible. So you just have to make that like kind of turn towards you. Like you just have to turn tables.
That's super. Forward to it, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you so
once
much,
again.
and very, very kind of you too.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Take care.
Thank you.
See you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Parineeta. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.